see you. What's up? Are you ready? Is this Eric? Ready. What's up, man? Eric? Eric. Yeah, good name. It's one of the best names. Members only, but all are welcome. If you remember. Yeah. But yeah, this week's been crazy. Yesterday I was like, how many meetings can you have in a day? How many?
So top secret stuff. Can't tell you anything about it.
When is this airing? When? Someplace. Okay. Hello.
We're going to have to change your perspective on that new favorite golf media company.
Heyo. Heyo. We're walking into an elevator that's actually a golf course. So, was this here when you were here last time? Don't remember. I was roofied shortly before I went in here, so that's why I don't remember the membership. Wednesday, come on down. I think we're gonna it'll be rad. It'll be fun. I heard Dude, there's a huge movement in making golf more urban. Yeah. And it seems like that's something that you got an early idea on.
I think we sort of broke the mold, improved it a little bit, and now they have other places opening up.
How often do you come here?
We try to get here, I don't know, a couple times, 3 times, 4 times a year. Yeah, you know, we come in here and film some stuff.
Every time we get here, something good happens.
Something good happens. This is the spot. First time we were here, so when Paige Ferranic was here, and it was 18 birdies, I hit the putt to win the spot that Arnold Palmer throwing.
What?
Yeah, that was our first vlog we've ever done. What? Yeah. The PGA Tour let us film.
How long was the putt?
It was 15 feet. We just tried to do it.
We just tried it. We couldn't do it.
4-hour interview and go.
Yeah. All right, we're here with the man himself, Mr. Erik Anders Lang. You guys have seen him. He's everywhere. So that's what I wanted to start by talking about. I've seen you play golf everywhere from Compton to Augusta. You recently had Rick Shields call him the coolest man in golf. I love that title.
That was a compliment,
an honor bestowed upon you. We're seeing you in those Vice commercials everybody loves, Skratch, Be the Ball's coming out. But it feels like it kind of came out of nowhere. Where did this all start for you?
Well, it's a Cinderella story.
Comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, you know, they say it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. And it's been 8 years for me. You know, I started playing golf and I came to it with, you know, an opposition to the game. I didn't want to play. I didn't like it. I didn't want to like it because of what I thought it was. Yeah. And then I tried it. I fell in love probably in my backswing on the first hole. Right? There was something there. And then I confirmed my love when I watched the ball fly into the water. And I asked my brother, what does it mean when you move the ball to the right? And he said, work in the ball. And I was like, how do I work it left? And laughed. Because as a righty, everyone's trying to fix their slice. I had a slice for years. Anyway, fell in love with the game, found this sort of facet of people, this sect of people that felt that golf was a spiritual game. I responded to that because I did feel that there was some weight to the game that was beyond just a collar. And then moved into Making Be the Ball, which is this feature documentary about golf and meditation. You guys know about it. You've worked with Dr. Parent. And sort of reached out to the PGA Tour, and I was like, can I interview some players? And they were like, can I curse? Who the fuck are you? Right. So I told them who I was, and they were like, we don't know. And finally I was able to interview some players. I started producing some portions of Be the Ball, which is almost done. It's hard for me to give a release date on Be the Ball because it's such a labor of love that I care so much about. It's like making 100 vlogs. I mean, it's so hard to do. And basically, then they said, do you want to do Adventures in Golf? Do you want to host a show? And I was like, I'm not a host, but I've never said no. Once I said yes to golf, everything's been going great, so I might as well keep saying yes. And that turned into Adventures in Golf. Vice saw it, and they said, we identify with you and our brand. And I said, so do I. And then Golf Digest said, do you want to come to Augusta and record the Masters for us? And so it's just all been this kind of like my dog's name, Snowball. It's been this snowball effect of just merely trying not to turn things down along the way, you know, and so yeah, it does seem to sort of be random. I'm walking down the street yesterday, and there's a store that has a picture of me.
We saw that.
12 feet tall.
What are the chances, you know?
So, you know, and it is really wild. I don't really understand it.
You know, so Frank's taking the ride wherever it takes you.
I'm taking the train to the last stop.
That's it.
Just tell me when you're done.
Frank said on the way, and if your schedule got changed and you weren't able to make it today last minute, we were just going to interview that sign at that club. So at least we can get something.
Speak on your behalf,
You know, we were going to find it somewhere. So you're a Jersey guy.
Jersey. Born and
raised, you know, and you're just kind of like a home game for you. You're back in town. So where in Jersey?
Madison.
Madison.
Madison. It's like Summit, near Baltusrol. Obviously, I didn't know that growing up because golf was nothing.
Because golf wasn't your thing.
Yeah,
it wasn't your
but
thing.
I've had sex on a golf course. I sled on a golf course, and I smoked a lot of weed on golf courses. So golf.
So life was bringing you to the course.
It was trying to get me to play golf.
It was going to get you there.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Those early signs.
Yeah.
So you talked about, adventures in golf. I'm sure you've got 2 seasons out. You said you recorded the third already.
2 seasons out. Third one's coming out very soon. I have a date in my head, but I'm not going to say it because I just don't want to build up expectations. So we're doing under promise, over deliver.
Yeah.
I like it. So for those that don't know, tell us about Adventures in Golf. What's the point?
Yeah, Adventures in Golf. So like I said, the PGA Tour was like, look, do you want to host a show? And I was like, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, right.
Yeah, I don't know what that even means.
Yeah.
A few months later, I'm in a meeting and they say, if you could do anything, what would you do? And I was like, oh, I didn't think you were going to ask me that.
Yeah.
And I just said I would go around the world and play golf with strange people in strange places. Mm-hmm. And for a long time, that was the log line for Adventures in Golf. Strange people, strange places. Golf is filled with it. And basically, we go everywhere. We go to the nooks and crannies of where golf exists on planet Earth, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's a prison in Louisiana that the guards maintain the course for where the prisoners maintain the course for the guards to play, or whether it's the slums of Mumbai.
Yeah.
We make these 10 to 15 minute YouTube episodes where basically golf, I believe, is a game that we all play, and it's a game that, it's relatively the same. But if you actually just scratch off a little bit of that dust, how many golfers are there in the world?
God,
I don't know.
Right.
9 billion? No, I don't know.
There should be.
There's 100 million or something.
Yeah.
So I really believe that there's 100 million different ways to play golf.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's really an exciting thing. And so that's what this show tries to get at is, how do you do it? How do you do it? And obviously it's extreme examples. Someone keeps saying to me, do you think you'll ever run out of episodes of the show? And I did feel that way in the beginning. I was like, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But now after being in the game for a minute,
right?
No way.
Nope.
No way.
I can totally agree with that. We're 230 episodes into our podcast.
This is episode 231.
Not the vlog is new.
But
actually, no, you're right. We're going to drop this on the podcast.
This will be on the podcast as well.
This is going to be
episode
like 235, I think. We're going to drop.
That's amazing.
But here's the thing: we thought the same thing. We're getting around episode 100. We're like, we're going to run out of stuff to talk about.
Right.
But once you get into this game, you realize
it's infinite.
It just keeps
because
going.
it relies on. If you do run out, then that's on you.
That's on yes.
Your job is to
You're
tell a
not
story.
looking deep enough.
It's like a magazine being like, well, we covered it all.
You're right.
Yes.
Close up shop.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously, I would imagine that everyone who's ever interviewed you has asked if there was a favorite destination. So forget that for a second.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite story that came out of it? Because I think that is even more important. Like you said, the stories, the people.
Yeah.
Was there something that you really just personally clicked with you?
Well, golf, obviously, we play different rounds of golf in our lives, right? We go play at our home course. We're looking for something, an escape or some type of greatness or whatever it is. Or just remote connection. We go on golf trips and we go with people that we love and we care about. We go with new friends, old friends.
Yep.
So there's different things. For me, it's interesting for me to say this because I have, like you said, played Augusta.
Yeah.
That's not it. That was great, but that wasn't it.
Yeah.
For me, it was playing a relatively unimportant and architecturally insignificant course in Ireland. Old Head.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's a business, right? It's just a f***ing business. They're just selling tee times, and there's palm trees, which are weird, and it's a weird course. But what happened on that day was the caddy, a man, Michael, he gave me an opportunity to see something. I'm getting emotional as I talk about it. He gave me an opportunity to see something that was happening in the moment and to actually step out of it, right? Mm-hmm. I was with my mom and my father and my brother. Right, that's my family. I have a sister, but she doesn't play golf, so sorry, Cindy. I love you. Wish you could have made it.
Yeah.
I really do. But the irony is we played golf. I mean, it was nasty. The weather was disgusting. It was blowing. The rain was coming upside down in my nostrils. I mean, and the caddy just kept saying, "Angel's breath." Angel's breath. He was English. He wasn't Irish.
Yeah.
And we're going along. My mom hasn't hit a shot because it's disgusting weather, and it's a long course and whatever. We get to 8 or 9, the weather kind of clears up. My mom still hasn't hit a shot, and Caddy looks at me and he goes, "She's probably having the best time of any of us."
Right.
And I was like, "That's probably true." And then he goes, "You don't realize this yet, but in 20 years, you'll remember this day." And it broke me, dude.
Yeah.
I was just like,
boom.
20 years. My parents are 79 right now.
Yeah.
wait a minute, he's right. Like I'm literally going to remember this day after they're dead, after they're gone.
Yeah.
And golf will be one of the most valuable memories that we have together. Whether it's my father, not a great golfer, loves the game, tries to play 4 pars in a row, and he's calling, the president.
Yeah.
My mom, she pokes it 80 yards with the driver, doesn't care.
Right.
But we had an experience together, and I don't remember what I shot.
It doesn't matter, right?
Sure.
Couldn't tell you.
Right.
But that's such a big part of the beauty is right. You don't have to be good.
Yeah.
So many people are always worried about what they're going to score and how am I going to break this, that, or that number, instead of just kind of being out there and being present and enjoying it.
Totally.
And speaking of being present, that takes me right to Be the Ball. I mean, tell me a little bit about it. I know this is kind of like the passion project, right?
Yeah, so Be the Ball is kind of like my, Adventures in Golf is my Trojan horse, right? Be the Ball is the thing that's inside of it. It's the heart of everything I do, really. It's the idea that, golf, we play golf for a reason, right? And you could say you play for score, but that's actually just what we think is the reason. The reason just below that is you play for something you don't understand. We look for, greatness in golf doesn't come from trying hard.
Right.
Right. And there's no game as paradoxical as golf, and everyone's talked about that. But the aim of the film is to actually be. At the time when I started making it, there was very little out about the mental side of golf, and so I saw these connections. The impetus of the film was Caddyshack Dalai Lama quote, Legend of Bagger Vance based on the Bhagavad Gita, ancient Hindu text. What the
right?
Right. And then Zen golf, right? Dr. Parent.
Yep.
Those 3 things, and I was like, cool, where's that story? I couldn't find it. It was written here and there, but no one had compiled all the info and given it to me as a documentary filmmaker as a film. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try this. And, we did this way, we went that way, we zigged, we zagged. We found our movie. Basically, we chronicle 50 golfers of different abilities, learning how to meditate and playing golf for 3 months, meditating 5 minutes a day. 30 minutes a day.
Okay.
3 months, 90 days, 30 minutes a day. Will they get better?
Right.
Will it change their games? And, you have to watch the movie to find out, but it's got a good ending. And the idea is that you, I, me, we, you would watch the film, and everyone who's seen it now as a test has said, I want to play golf right now. I want to go play golf like this right now. We were on a golf trip. I showed it on Saturday night. We had been there since Thursday. Everyone said, look, I got to be honest with you, I'm pretty pissed at you. Because you should have shown this to me on Thursday.
Before you went out, right. Yeah.
Because it's a new way of playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, why is Zen golf not mandatory reading?
Right. And why is it that we all seem to say the same thing? Golf's a mental game. It's the 6 inches between your ears, but then we don't dive into that.
No.
We don't explore it.
No, because the results are too far away.
Okay.
And the truth is, you don't see immediate results. That's really all it is. A swing tip, I hit a slice, I move my wrist, I hit a cut, I draw.
Right.
Okay.
We want that 5-minute YouTube video that straightens the ball out, but
better players get it, right? Single digits, they kind of get it, but there is no evidence to support the idea that non-better players would still benefit from this. Like that was a confusing way of saying that, but anyone can benefit from these ideas. And so in the film, we talk all about the lessons that I've learned. Jason Goldsmith is in the film. He works with Justin Rose, works with Jason Day. Really gets them centered around this crazy piece of technology. It's like a headband that can read your brain activity. And so he can tell you when you're ready to hit a golf shot. He can tell you when you're in the zone. It's right.
I know Dave's a big visualization guy.
Yeah, Dave's big on that. And so what he's doing there is you've got 15 million bits per second that can be processed in your brain. How much of that is conscious? 60. So 14.99999 million is sensual. Most of that is visual. Some of it's your skin, some of it's smell, hearing. And so when you're getting ready to hit a shot, the last thing you want to do is be paying attention to the 60 bits of there's water right. There's water right. Because that directs the other 15 million to go right. But if you just literally listen to the visualization of hitting a ball and where you want that ball to go, they prove you get better results. But it's hard to do.
Yes. And it takes a time. You said 30 days or so you had people doing it.
People did it for 90,
If it's not too personal of a question, what's your own experience with meditation?
Not at all, no. So I had a kind of a crazy experience with it where I met I read Zen Golf very shortly after getting into golf. My brother sent it to me randomly. He's kind of the opposite of that guy.
Yeah.
But golfers will do anything to get better.
Of course, yes.
Even if it incorporates reading a book on Buddhism.
Right. Yeah.
And, you know, I was a Buddhist maybe, and that's through Dr. Parent. I called him, I said, I read your book, it changed my life. He said, great. What are you doing like Friday? I was like, I live in LA, let's hang. He's like, great, come up to Ojai. Went up to Ojai, all of a sudden we're sitting there in a dark room on pillows meditating. Meditated for like an hour. And then he's like, you want to go play golf? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like tripping.
Right.
We played golf and I was just like, this game is much more than I could ever consciously
And an hour
understand.
off the bat is ambitious. Some people can't sit for 5 minutes when they start.
Well, I'm an addict.
Okay.
So that's how I got into golf.
There you go.
So I hit a first day I played golf. Next day I was like, Chris, can I borrow your clubs? Okay. 3 days later I was like, my thumb is actually falling off. Like I was wrapping tape on every finger. Because that's just how I do shit, you know? And so basically meet the author, and then basically I get invited into this like kind of secret society of Tibetan Buddhists up in the mountains of California. And we're literally up there like burning incense, chanting in Tibetan, singing songs, not talking for days at a time. And then Doc and I would go play golf. And Doc and I would go play golf. And Doc and I would go play golf. And that was it, right?
Wow.
Is that he just taught me how to play golf.
That's cool.
Through these like wild meditation retreats.
Yeah.
Like wild in the sense that we did
where golf
nothing.
will take you.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so I did that for a while, and then I was there one day, and I looked around, and I was like, oh, these aren't my people. I'm out. And I left. I left in the middle of a retreat. It was actually a conflict of mine. Like, I know that I was like, should I leave? Should I not leave? And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go find my people. And it's been a few years. I think I have. My people are golfers, right? My people are golfers that want to get better, or that want to enjoy the game more, or maybe both at the same time.
Right.
You know, and that has been, I frequently think about the luck that my life has come across, and I frequently think, like, if this is it, if this is my last year, I'm good. We checked out at the penthouse.
Yeah.
You know, wherever it goes, I don't know, but you know, yeah, I found my people for sure.
That's awesome. And from the outside looking in, talk about that train ride, right? From the outside looking in, people might be seeing, they see your face everywhere now, and they say, it looks like you've done everything, but we know there's more to do. So what excites you? what do you want to do going forward?
Well, I want to have a son, a child, but I don't have a woman to do that with.
All right, so just one step at a time. Okay, yeah.
Hemingway always said, you're not a man until you've had a son, so that's really the only thing that I can't control. Like, I could go play golf anywhere tomorrow.
Right.
More or less.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I haven't played Pine Valley, but the truth is, don't really care.
Right.
I mean, I don't want that to come off as an insult to anyone who celebrates Pine Valley and great golf, but I don't rate courses like that. I don't have a belt.
It's like you said, it's the experience that you had there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could go to Pine Valley and actually have a bad day. That's okay with me.
Right.
Right? What else is there to do? I mean, I want to continue telling people like about how great golf is, and inviting people who don't play the game, because I don't know where I'd be if I didn't play golf, but I certainly wouldn't be sitting here.
Right.
I certainly wouldn't.
Right.
If that day I hadn't said, no, I don't want to play golf with you, Chris and Dad, and then spent 90 seconds in my own head looking out the window wondering why I said no, and then basically rationalizing, well, geez, I say yes to pretty much everything. I should probably just say yes to this.
Yeah.
I should just try it before I knock it.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and I'm a pretty open-minded guy. So there are a lot of people out there that aren't as open-minded, that look at golf and see one thing.
Right.
So that really is, just to be super general, I'm sorry, that's all I want to do is continue doing that.
Yeah.
And then the last answer is, I'm 37, 50 years old, I want to host the Tonight Show.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
There's this, you can dig into that.
You got to set those goals high. I like that.
I'd love to do it.
But I tell you what, look.
You're in.
Yeah, we're going to be this first guest. But I tell you what, like, you picked probably the best time to do it, because you want to spread that message.
Yeah.
Now there's a million ways to do it. You know, 5 years ago, we couldn't pick up our phone and just show everybody what we were doing in that moment. So, you know, tell people a little bit more, if they're not already, how they can find out more about you, how they can follow along. I know you've got even a new YouTube channel, right?
Yeah. Someone did research.
Yeah, man.
So,
I'm a fan, I told you.
When is this coming out again? A couple weeks?
We're going to drop this in a couple days, and then we'll put it on the podcast a little after that.
So, Instagram is my main gig.
Okay.
I do my best to respond to whatever DMs I get. Haven't gotten a dick pic yet. Just want to celebrate that.
You just signed yourself up for about 50 of them. Good luck.
Send me a dick pic, you're getting blocked, okay? I don't need it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I engage, right? I care.
Yeah.
I try to post authentically. I don't have some type of fucking algorithm. I'm not like, it's just what I do, right? And
you're the guy who answers the comments.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it.
And, you know, like, that's my main thing. I'm going to Scotland in a couple weeks, and
nice.
We got this best golf job ever, which I was a bit chagrined about because I have the best golf job ever, and I felt a bit bad because there's all these great people that could also do it that deserve a shot. I threw my name in the hat because Christian Hafer was like, "Hey, throw our names in the hat," and so now we're going, and I'm tremendously grateful. Yeah. I'm bringing Stuart, my friend from Australia, Colt, my main guy, and Christian Hafer, and so we're gonna go. I talked him into giving us 4 tee times instead of 2. So now anyone can come join us. So if you want to come to Scotland, I got 2 spots for you.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think about it.
They got those cheap flights right now.
Think about it. They got cheap flights. Come to Scotland. You can crash on the floor. It's an easy ride.
I like it.
When we do that, we're also going to be releasing a lot of content, obviously, online. And we're looking at creating, obviously, some type of travel vlog of the journey that we would release shortly after that I think will be some of the most exciting stuff I have ever made.
And that's something you're going to drop on your YouTube channel?
That'll be on my YouTube channel, which I think is, I don't know, if you just search my name on YouTube, that's the best
you come up. Yeah. You're not hard to find.
Yeah, Eric with a K.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm excited for that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and we'll link to that below as well.
Yeah, but it's Erik Anders Lang with a K.
So for your rest of the time here in New York, you'll be at the Northern Trust next week?
Northern Trust next week. Going to do a podcast with Kevin Chappell.
Cool.
Pretty excited. He's an interesting guy.
Great.
Cali boy.
Yeah.
And excited. I'm going to meet with some executives.
Okay.
Which will be kind of interesting. Play some golf with some executives.
Okay.
Try not to offend anybody. And what else? Yeah, I'm just hanging, playing golf, filming. Got a meetup next week. Wednesday the 22nd, Manhattan. Yeah. That'll be good. Come on down. Check out my Instagram for the info. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just every day kind of wake up and go to bed thinking, what else? What else can we do, you know? And I love kind of working with guys like us, right? Because, like, awesome. I think one of the things that excites me about what you guys do is it's like, you know, you're like, nah, the big guy, I don't need it.
Right.
I'm doing my own thing.
That's it.
And that's inspiring. What's great about the world we're in, and it's kind of like a mirror to golf itself. It's like we go out and we do it.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. We go play sawgrass.
Yep.
We go play that. You can't do that in any other sport. Mm-hmm. And you know, anyway.
That's it.
I love it.
Well, we appreciate you sitting down with us. It's nice to take time out of your busy schedule to catch up with us. We'll catch you at Ridgewood. We'll be over there too in Northern Trust.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll be on that flight with you to Scotland.
Yes.
Maybe. We got a lot of selling to do.
Coach, baby. Middle seats.
You know.
That's it. All right,
whatever it takes.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
it. Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Dang, 6.5.
The Bumblebee setup.
That's the Bumblebee setup.
I love it, dude. Yep. Tag one.
Let me try one.
I'm still on the hole. Jesus.
Q&A here from some of our Facebook fans. Jimmy asks, so I want to know a little bit about the hole-in-one insurance in Japan. Like, how big do these parties have to be, and what's the process of getting the insurance? Is it a yearly fee?
Yeah, it's a yearly fee. Thanks for the question, Jimmy. Solid question. You're going to go to Japan and get a hole-in-one. It's very hard to do. You basically get a year of insurance. It's actually not that expensive. I think it was like $100, and it covered me for a $10,000 party. And I don't understand the customs entirely, but I'm pretty sure that everyone in your life you have to give a present to. Like every person that you're friends with, you like owe them something.
So 10K might not cover you.
10K doesn't even cover. I got the lowest plan. There's a bigger plan.
Yeah.
Where it's like $100 grand.
Wow. So the question is, you re-upping it? You keeping it going?
No.
Erik Martinsen. How did he get his name? Norwegian relatives?
Oh, it's a great story. Yeah. So Erik Anders Lang, Erik with a K, obviously Nordic. That was, my parents came up with that, but Anders was my great-great-grandfather's name, who came over from Sweden on a boat. My dad has every documentation, just showed up in America and was like, let's do this, but in Swedish. And so I like that they called me Anders because I think, you know, on some level we have that same vibe, and, you know, yeah, so Swedish.
Some of these just quick hitting points. Tell him he needs a haircut.
Thank you.
I'm sure he listen. Yeah. I would kill for that hair. I'll tell you that. I'd kill for it.
I'm actually not sure I needed a haircut.
Please don't cut it at all.
Thank you for the advice.
Lewis wants to know which vice balls are you playing with, and do you have an unlimited supply of vice balls at this point?
I have an unlimited supply of balls. My garage is filled with them, and I order about 10 dozen a month. And I give a lot away to friends and whoever I play with, and I try to be generous with that. And I play the Pro Plus in neon because I am really impatient, and I want to know whose ball is whose way before I get there. The red one I find is a little hard to see in the grass, so yellow works for me. Matte finish or glossy. The matte finish makes me feel like I'm on acid, so I prefer the glossy a little bit. But I'll take whatever I can get. But yeah, now when I play with a white ball, I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've gotten so used to the yellow.
George Connolly, favorite PGA Tour player?
Michelle Witt. LPGA. Gotcha.
Gotcha.
PGA Tour, I mean, God, it's a hard question to have me answer, right? Because I feel like they're all so nice. Charlie Hoffman obviously comes to my mind. Justin Rose is a great guy. You know, Ricky, they're all great guys. That's one of the things for me is like, I look to a PGA Tour player to do a little more than just play golf, right? And the PGA Tour, in the dumbest phrase ever, live under par, is also asking them to do that. So when I see guys just being good people and being open and generous and like being grateful for their job, that's huge for me.